Hello guys, I hope you guys are having a beautiful morning. Well, I am having a beautiful morning. I'm alive. It's not 40 degrees here in Southern Africa. And for those who are new to this channel, well, I just want to welcome you guys and say thank you very much just for you to just come and see what I do and what this channel is all about. You can subscribe and leave a like. So I am a cinematographer based here in Southern Africa in a country called Zambia. If you don't know that place, check your maps. It's beautiful and we are known for our Victoria Falls. So why not visit? Today I just want to show you guys how you can easily color grade your videos using DAVINCI Resolve, which is a free software, and everything we're going to use in this video is going to be free. Even the LUTs that I'm going to use specifically for this project is going to be free. So if you would want the LUTs, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to send them to you. With all that out of our way, may you just grab yourself some coffee, tea. I don't have coffee, so I'm drinking tea. Let's grab our editing software, which is DaVinci, and let's jump into this tutorial. So by any means, shape or form, I'm not a professional colorist, and so everything I'm sharing with you guys is what I've learned through my time of trial and error, and just with the knowledge I've collected through the years. These are my ways of doing things, and you can use these ways as well and be able to develop your way of doing things as well. Color grading is something that starts even way before you put your footage in your editing software. Don't want to talk so much. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial, so let's jump into DaVinci Resolve. Right, so first thing first, you go to your color panel, which I'm sure you might know. If you don't know, it's just underneath to your right, in between Fusion and Fireflight. And so by default, when you open DaVinci Resolve, by default it has already created one node for you. And what we are trying to do is to be able to create more nodes so that we can add different effects on each and every node. What I usually do is that I just create 4 nodes, 3 plus the default one. So this is what we are going to do here. So we are going to create that node, but before I do that, I want to pack my shot where I feel like, it looks nice. Well, this face looks nice, you know, like I'm up to something. I'm going to right click and add node. I'm going to do the same thing, right click, add serial node, again right click and add serial node. And so we have 4 nodes, and our next step is we are going to rename these nodes. Reason being is we don't want to guess which one is the correction, which one is the skin. We want to know, and that's why we are going to add these nodes. I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to right click and say node label, and I'm going to call this node correction. Okay, I can either right click and do node, or you can make shortcuts. I'll click N and I'm going to call this node skin. On this node, this is where we're going to do our skin. Then on my third node, I'm going to call it conversion. This is where we're going to convert from log2 to rec 709. I actually shot this in slog2. Our last node is going to be called LUT. Now here, this is where I'm going to add my LUT. And now we have our 4 nodes set up and ready to start. Now, for those who are shooting in standard profile, you don't really need to add the conversion node, because you already have your stuff converted. So you can maybe just rename it something else, or just make 3 nodes. But yeah, and like I said, I'm not a pro colorist. Some pros will say something different, but this is just me showing you or giving you the foundation where you can start building up your color grading work. So first thing first, I'm going to go to my conversion node. There are 2 ways that you can do this. You can either go to the Sony website and you're going to find the conversion LUT that Sony has already made for their cameras, or you can do the old-fashioned way of using color space transform. Since I want you guys to learn things, I'm going to use using the color space transform. So we're going to choose the conversion node, and I'm going to go to effects, and I'm going to find my color space transform. Now you can search it, and yeah. Okay, and in my color space transform, you can see that it opens all these settings. So I'll go to input color space. So what was our input color space? What it's trying to ask you is, what were you filming in? What space were you bringing in the image on? And so in our case, we're using escamet 3.cine. And just by doing that, you can start seeing now how our image start changing. We are now having those saturations. Then I'll go on the input gamma. I'm going to tell it, oh, I was using Rec 7, or sorry, I was using S-Log 2. So just there, you can already see our images just like popped and changed, and I already like it. Then on our output color space, well, I wanted to convert it to Rec 709. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll go to Rec 709 and I'll give it that. Then on our output gamma, now this is very important. You need to identify the gamma that you want your image to be. Does that make sense? Yeah. So output gamma, we're going to choose gamma 2.4, and you might be wondering why the image goes back to being saturated again. Well, that's what we want. And yeah, so we are done with the color space transform, and now what we are going to do is, now it's up to you. You can either add the LUTs if you want, or you can just go to the correction and start tweaking stuff. For my liking, I would like to add the LUTs, because why not? I've worked so hard to make these LUTs, so I might as well use them. So I'm going to find my LUT. I call it fog mode set. Then I'll go to slap it here. And now you can see how this LUT just gets way too strong, way too crazy, and my laptop is going crazy making noise because of this log footage. Okay, so I'm going to come down here to key, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to remove the strength of this LUT. I'm just going to take it down somewhere, pack it somewhere here. Yeah, I think I like it the way it is. And so the other thing we're going to do now is we can go back to our correction. Now this is where, remember I mentioned to you that the way you film is very important. You know, if everything is too overexposed, it just gives you a lot of work, and if everything is underexposed, it's just going to give you a lot of work. So I'm going to change to parades, and you can already see certain things are just going crazy. Like there is so much, the highlights, the mid-tones are, I mean, yeah, but I want to just balance this image nicely. First thing first, I'm going to go to the shadows, and I'm going to just bring down the shadows a little bit, and I am going to bring down the highlights, just to pack them somewhere there. I also don't want them to be touching the upper line. It's too much, so leaving somewhere there is okay. You don't have to worry, we'll be able to make more changes. I'll come to the temperature, and I'm just going to make my image a little bit warm, maybe negative, maybe just 200. Then I'll go to the tint, and I'm going to, yeah, pack it at 7.50. The contrast, I am going to reduce it as well, and you can already see before and after, before and after, before and after. Yeah, so what we're going to do now, we're going to come to this tool called the color boost. Now I didn't know about the color boost before, but the moment I saw what it can do, I was just like, oh wow, I don't have to struggle anymore with having my image way too saturated, or you know, like all this kind of stuff. So yeah, so the color boost is just going to we can pack it. Yeah, I think I can pack it on 10. Then I'll go to the saturation, and I'm just going to bring it a little bit down. And just by doing the color boost, we can already see how everything just looks amazing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the, and by the way, we are using the primary color wheels. So I'm going to come to gamma, and I'm going just to lift up the gamma a little bit more. And the lift, I'll just lift them a little bit more. And then I'm going to come to the gain, and this is where I'm just going to reduce the gain of everything else. So I'm just going to come here and take down the gain a little bit more. Okay, so now what we are going to do is I'm going to go to the HDR wheel, and I'll just try to also just get rid a little bit of highlights again, and bring out the mid-tone, bring down the shadows a little bit so that I can just have that. Then I'm just going to add a little bit of color in the shadows, so I'll just add a little bit of green. Then I'm going to add a little bit of blue in the mid-tone. Then I'm going to go to I'll choose the HDR wheel, and I'm going to go to the global. Now what the global does is that you can change things in the global, and it doesn't affect the rest of the wheels. I don't know what you call them, but yeah, so here I'm just going to add a little bit of blue, and you'll be able to see how this just gives me that nice blue. Then I'm going to add a little bit of magenta, or yeah, then I'll come to the exposure. I'll just bring it a little bit down, and I'll lower the saturation a little bit as well. So now, since our image, personally I would say, looks good, what we're going to do now is we are going to go into the trying to qualify the skin. So what you do is choose the skin node, and just pick the color on your skin, turn the effect on, and yeah, we'll just try to put the skin in this. And so what I'm going to do is I'll try to get rid of, my skin looks a little bit orangey, yellowish, and yeah, so what I'm going to do is I am just going to go to the curve and choose the saturation, choose my skin, and just bring the saturation down. Okay, somewhere here. Then I'm going to go to the temperature, and I'm going to make it a little bit cold for my skin. And I'll come here again, do the same thing, and I'm just going to, yeah, I think somewhere there. So you can see before, after, before, after. Now this can be challenging because of the kind of jersey that I'm wearing. It's also orange, but you can even do more than this. You can also just come and choose another point and just start pushing. Yep. So yeah, wait, what happened? Okay, so yeah, you can see before we did all this This is how our image was looking like. Then we added the conversion. We converted our S-Log2 footage into Rec 709. Then we slapped the LUTs. Then we went to the correction. Then we added the skin qualifying. I can still go back to my LUTs and just reduce the strength. If you feel it's too much, then you can just go and just reduce the strength again. Then you can still come back. It's at the end of the day, it's also like your preference, how you want your image to look like. And for my personal taste, I think this image is a-okay, just like that. And yeah, I can just make it a little bit bright, and boom, I have myself an image. So that's it, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And like I said, I'm not a pro colorist, but I showed you guys how you can move your log footage from log to Rec 709, and how you can do all these things. And this is just like a foundation that you can build on. Later on, when you become a pro, then you can build on this and be able to add a node tree. And if you guys would want me to do an advanced level on, because there is more that needs to be done. And but for today, I hope you guys enjoyed, and treat yourself to some nice tea, coffee, drink, juice, whatever. And love you guys, sending my love from all the way from Southern Africa, and continue creating. God bless you. Bye.